will be crowned European Under-20 cross-country champion.
And again, it's Ines FitzGerald.
It's a standing ovation for her second gold of the week.
Well, FitzGerald has really poured it on the last couple of minutes. She's added another 20 or 30 metres to that gap back to Lacour, who's in danger of being caught now. You can see there right of picture, the gold vest of Weiss of Germany closing down on Lacour. Togerson struggling at the moment, back in fourth place, but FitzGerald is away, coached by Gavin Pavey. And if that surname is familiar to you, well, of course, he's the husband of Joe Pavey, European champion at 10,000 metres and a great racer from 1,500 to the marathon distance internationally for the last 25 years, Joe Pavey. But Gavin Pavey, down in the west country of southwest of England, has done a fabulous job to get Ines FitzGerald prepared for this. Fourth last year at the age of 16, and she's storming away now as she hears that bell call for the final lap. 12:50 she goes through. What is the gap back to second?
11 seconds, and it's only extending. I'd be surprised if that doesn't double over the next lap, because Ines FitzGerald is moving faster now than it looks like she's moved at any point in the race. It continues to grow, that gap. She is 7 for 7 in cross-country races this year, and barring calamity over this last 1400 metres, Ines FitzGerald is going to be 8 for 8, and the European Under-20 champion, the Exeter athlete, is putting on an exhibition. But it is still Lacour in second, Weiss hanging on to third. It's going to be a great dust-up for the minor medals between Weiss, Togerson and Lacour. As we see, Britain in firm command of the team race with 3 in the top 11. Ireland look to be in second, but we'll get those once 3 athletes go through for each team. We'll have the official standings with 1 lap to run.
Listen to the screaming and the yelling. The passion in cross-country is off the chart, and rightly so here in the Belgian capital. As Ines FitzGerald of Great Britain heads towards the finish line, it has been a majestic, dominant, determined run for this first gold of the day. She will be crowned European Under-20 cross-country champion. Quite brilliant running for the young athlete from Exeter. She takes the win there unofficially in 18:20, and the gap behind her is massive.
Yeah, 6 British winners of this race in the past. Steph Twell, Charlotte Purdue, Charlotte Dale, Amelia Goretzka, Harriet Knowles-Jones and Megan Keith. And to that list we can add a magnificent 7th, Ines FitzGerald, putting on a show here at Laken Park in Brussels.
There's Ines FitzGerald. I mentioned the British athlete and how she likes to front run. She doesn't always gauge her effort right. At 16, she went to Turin in Italy for her first try at a European title, and she capitulated, went off very, very hard, ended up in 4th place. As the very first race here at the European Cross Country Championships gets ready. And they are off this under-20 field. It will be a mad sprint down this start straight and then a sharp left-hand turn. These athletes will know they will have looked at the course yesterday, and they need to be, if they've got aspirations of getting on the podium, for me, they need to be in the top 10. FitzGerald will be following in the footsteps of such a strong tradition with Great Britain, and I was asked to look back on one of my highlights from the European Championships over the last 30 years, and I chose the 1 through 6 for Great Britain in Brussels back in 2008. And they're not going to be far off it, this British team here today in Antalya. They're having a great showing behind Ines FitzGerald. But to defend a title, I mentioned the history for Ines FitzGerald, coming here at 16, and she tried to run like this and it didn't come off, and she went away and she's learned from it. Brussels went very, very well. And I almost feel like FitzGerald waited a bit today. She was a bit more patient than she often is in the domestic competitions and some other international races. It was all about this last lap. This is where she's really poured all her effort into it, and she is just getting further and further ahead of Jess Bailey, her teammate, and Julia Erle of Germany.
Well, it looked like Togerson is quite a long way behind Erle at 4,100 metres. The gap between them was still about 13 seconds. So I think Erle's safe, even though you can see the German, their topper picture in yellow, is struggling as now FitzGerald checks over her shoulder, Hannah, in this long home straight.
Ines FitzGerald, one of 2 defending champions here today. Axel van Christensen's gone up an age group, but Ines FitzGerald is going to successfully defend her under-20 European title. I think she is exhausted. I think she's nervous. She knows there's other athletes behind, but hopefully every time she looks behind, she realises that gap is defendable. It is going to be enough to take another gold medal. Again, Great Britain and Northern Ireland on top of the medal podium, and again it's Ines FitzGerald, arms aloft, What a great effort from FitzGerald, and she can return to this age group next year. Jess Bailey, a wonderful silver medal, and there is going to be a sprint on the line. Sophia Torgersen of Denmark is neck and neck with Erle of Germany. They cross the line together. We'll have to leave that to the photo finish. Torgersen flew down that finishing straight away, and Erle, she was looking behind. She was trying as hard as she could. At the moment, the results so far giving it to Sophia Torgersen down in the left-hand corner. Graphic, but I think they will have another look at the photo finish there. What a finish for the final medal. Oh, what a race. I think you have to look at Ines FitzGerald. She won by, I think, around about 19 seconds last year, just 11 seconds this year. That's the improvement Jess Bailey's made, 8th last year up to 2nd. She'll be delighted with a trip to the podium.
And there is, nearest the camera, Ines FitzGerald. Absolutely flying. Twice the European under-20 cross-country champion, the 5th fastest Briton in history.
FitzGerald now starting to lap athletes, and she's going to lap an awful lot more at this sort of pace. And just remember, we've got a whole host of national under-20 champions that she's going past. She's 400 metres in front of these women, and it's going to be a gap that's just going to increase with almost every stride. Here we see Yagiz and Erle now, that battle for silver and bronze, but Bradley and Johanova looking a little bit tired, a little bit ragged.
We're watching for FitzGerald to see the speed with which she's coming round. These are brilliant athletes she's lapping, and she's making quality performers look very, very ordinary. Ines FitzGerald can now afford to smile. It's not going to be a championship record, but it's an absolutely brilliant performance. There are people standing here to greet the new winner, 15:09. It was never in doubt, never in doubt. Ines FitzGerald is a major star of European and global distance running, and she has her first gold here in Tampere. Time for the women's 3,000 metre final, and Darlan, the Dutchman, did the double in the shot and the discus. Is Ines FitzGerald about to do the same? FitzGerald fighting for the inside line, and look at how quickly she's pushed her way to the front. We've just had the question answered as to whether this would be tactical or whether it would be against the clock. She's elbowed her way straight to the front, and this is going to be a demonstration, barring injury, of front-running excellence. This is FitzGerald absolutely gunning it here, going for the European under-20 record that has stood for 40 years. Ines FitzGerald, her face etched in pain, is storming to a golden double here in Tampere. It's not going to be a European under-20 record. Zola Budd's mark from 40 years ago is safe. 200 metres to go. The 5 chasers have only just gone round for the bell. She's operating on a different level. Serngel now on the shoulder of Yagiz, the medalist from the 5,000 against the medalist from the 1,500. As FitzGerald now can see the finish line. They're gearing up for a big burn-up on the back straight. Watch for Torboinsen, she's very, very quick. So it's Sweden and Norway in 2nd and 3rd. But it's Great Britain out front. It's a standing ovation for her 2nd gold of the week. Ines FitzGerald annihilates the championship record. A wonderful win for her. Nobody could get close to Ines FitzGerald. She came here determined for 2 golds, and she delivered.
Hey, I'm Ines FitzGerald, and you need to go and sign up to European Athletics YouTube.